Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle video. I am Josh, aka Gogi, and today we're going to be talking about a common debate that I saw online, Reddit, and Twitter. All the places that have Dokkan possible. It is, in fact, is Vegito Blue better or worse than the new Dokkan Fest exclusive coming up, Cooler? So I'm going to delve into this subject, Wrath of Rip. They're both really good cards. You should summon for them. You should build both of them. He becomes easily one of the best cards in the game, and he is arguably easily one of the best cards in the game. And it's coming from a place because everyone is ranking him as one of the best TURs in the game and one of the best cards in the game. He can be pushed into top 5 cards in the game, including LRs. And everyone's like, why isn't Cooler this? Well, there is some reason to it, and it's the consistency of the card design versus Cooler. See, Cooler's design is amazing, but it's not absolutely consistent. He only gets transformation boost category allies only get a boost facing one enemy, whereas Terrifying Conquerors get a better boost facing 2 or more enemies. So if he is this leader and there's 2 enemies, your Vegito Blue and your Gogeta Blue, the new ones from year 5, do not get the boost at all, especially when there's fighting 2. He is the only one that gets a boost. So he's very situational in that sense, right? Consistently though, he's going to get the boost all the time, right? So that's why I have this stat up here. This is when he's fighting 1 enemy, when he's fighting 2 enemies. Right, there's a difference. I do have stats filled out. And then he has a transformation, which relies on, the quicker transformation relies on pure Saiyajins and hybrid Saiyajins. And then the slower transformation, it requires you to fight only 1 enemy, and it's from the 6th turn from the start of battle. And then it leads into one of the most brutally very strong offensive units in the game, with some good defense backing him. Very similar, right? Very good defensive unit or offensive unit with some defense backing him. And people look at this number and think it's like just smacking 80% total. It's not. There is a huge difference between 40% mitigation and adding 40% onto your card's defense. So I have some numbers up here. And this is after transformation. After transformation is the highest boost in defense that Cooler will ever have, outside of stacking attack and defense debuffs onto the opponent. So we took a giant number, because you'll only see this deficit on a giant number, not on a small number. On a small number, both of these guys will tank for single digit to triple digit numbers very easily. So we took a giant number, super damage worth numbers, and we subtracted it from their absolute best defense, not including RNG. So in RNG, Vegito wins the situation hands down. But interestingly enough, even without RNG, Vegito Blue's defense still wins the situation. Although Cooler wins the situation if there is no super beforehand. But it's by a minute amount. And I'll tell you why. So let's start with the number. 300,000 minus 125,000. 109. This is the number you come up with. This is the number I had when I did the math. I'm not going to put 0.6. There's no point. Right now, we're just looking at the whole numbers. We all know that point numbers do make a difference in the overall scheme of things. But we're just looking at whole numbers for now. 174,000. Vegito Blue, on the other hand, right? You have to calculate things a little different. 300,000. Right? Times 0.4, 120. So you take 120 and you minus from 300k. So 300k minus 120 gives you 180. And then you subtract 180 by his defensive value of 62. So even in this situation of not supering, Vegito Blue still comes up on top. He comes up on top. Everyone telling me that he needs to super to put up this insane defense. You're not looking at the numbers properly. You're not looking at the game properly because there's so much RNG built into the game that to make sure that the enemy unit always does damage and you'll never get a value of 0. That's why it doesn't seem like Vegito is reliable. But if you crunch numbers and you calculate everything it's supposed to be, Vegito just tanks inherently better than Cooler. Cooler may be able to tank damage, but he doesn't do it as well as Vegito. And Vegito can dish out more damage, if not the same amount of damage. So what does Cooler have over Vegito? Well, what he does have is support. Cooler can support his team in a sense that Vegito can't, but that is not Vegito's role. Vegito's role is to end the turn as fast as possible. Cooler's role before transformation isn't that. During transformation, it definitely is that. That's why he has guaranteed crit versus pure Saiyajins and hybrid Saiyajins and such a big boost in numbers. If they were to give this unit anything higher than 40%, this unit would be utterly busted. And by that, I mean, you guys honestly have to take that as I say it. If Vegito Blue had 80%, 100% attack and defense at the start of the turn, he would be better than any LRR in the game. Albeit no guarantees multis, but you could even say he's better than the Vegito Blue from the anniversary. That's why they didn't give him that much. Card would be busted. The card is busted. They don't want to break the card even more. 40% mitigation is perfect. If they give him 50%, this gap widens even more of defensive value. So yes, I personally think that Vegito Blue is better than Cooler in terms of everything he does. It doesn't matter if Cooler can lead the best team. Vegito has an amazing team out the gate. And even when he didn't have all this, he was still decent enough to run. His EZA just puts him up there with all the god tier tippity top tier units. But with all that being said, Cooler, if you like him and he's really good, he will be future proof for a very, very long time in this game. Summon for him. Vegito Blue, same scenario. Future proof unit. If you get him Rainbow, that's it. Done deal. You'll clear any content in the game. You have his EZA. There you go. Done deal. But Cooler does not tank better than Vegito Blue, even without supers. It doesn't happen. It's 40% mitigation is a huge hit to the opponent's damage. Something that Cooler cannot do. And he hits back on top of that. So not only is Vegito Blue getting counter damage from all of this, right? Because it's his base value times 3, right? Which is base damage before calculating his not his key multiplier, but his super multiplier is roughly 300k. And then you times that by 3 and you get 900k. Times how many times he's going to counter. This is the value. This is how much you could potentially see without crit added into it. You go 900k times 0.9 and you add that to 900k and you get the value of a crit for this unit. It's absolutely insane. 1 million crits. Both Super Saiyan Vegito, Super Vegito, and Vegito Blue is going to be doing this on turn. So moving forward, Vegito Blue is going to be one of the best units in the game, and people are just going to have to live with that. They're going to have to live with the hype. They're going to have to live with him being talked about everywhere. He's better than Cooler in most cases. Cooler is very good for the team he is on. He brings a ton of value, and he's a very good leader. Tremendous support. He beats Vegito in the leader category, and he beats Vegito in the support category. Two things in which Vegito was never meant to do. Vegito beats Cooler by a long shot in the damage category, and he beats him also by a long shot in the defense category. It's something that people naturally look and say, oh, he needs to fire off supers to defend. No, he does not. The card is naturally built with defense built into it. He may not have been tanky during the when he had 30%, but he is tanky now with the additional of that defense 40% up and the mitigation of 40%. Card's ridiculous. Should you summon for Cooler? Yes. Without a doubt. We're so far out from the anniversary that summoning for Cooler is a viable thing. Should you spend all your stones on Cooler? No. Do 3 multis at best. If you don't get them, fine. Wait for 400. Wait. You probably have 400 coins at the end of the anniversary. Wait for him to come back and get him via shop 400 coins. Or throw multis at whatever is the new unit of the banner, and then boom, get him with 400 coins. People are going to disagree with me. People are going to agree with me. Simple as that. But yeah, numbers do not lie. Numbers do not lie in all these scenarios that I have built. It's very easy to calculate these numbers. People have so many guys. You guys can input the numbers yourself and see that it comes out the same way all the time. Vegito Blue is just a better tank than Cooler. Cooler does not tank better than Vegito Blue. He only tanks better on events that Vegito is type disadvantage of. And even then, against Ultra Instinct Goku Sign, he tanks single digit numbers. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, as it helps the dojo grow and let me bring out more content like this to you guys. I know that it is a big thing having someone's opinion kind of in your face with the numbers and all these things, but I honestly think learning numbers about this game is important because it lets you reevaluate your opinions and take a step back and throw out more facts than opinion when it comes to argument against a unit. With all that being said, have a great day. Don't forget to keep it